Hi viewers, today we are going to discuss about cell wall and cell membrane in detail. In last class we are studied about cell structure and cell organelles, cell functions. But today we are going to discuss about cell wall and cell membrane. You see the plant cells are eukaryotic cells with a true nucleus along with specialized structures called organelles that carry out certain specific functions. Cell is the structural and functional working unit of life and also been described as building blocks and fundamental unit of an organism. The term cell was coined by an English scientist, Robert Hooke, in the year 1665. The shape and size of the cells vary according to their functions and compositions. There are different types of cells and can be differentiated based on the presence and absence of few cell organelles. If you see the cell wall, a cell wall is defined as the non-living component covering the outermost layer of a cell. Its composition varies according to the organism and it is permeable in nature. The cell wall separates the interior contents of the cell from the exterior environment. It also provides shape, support, and protection to the cell and its organelles. However, this cellular components is present exclusively in eukaryotic plants, fungi, and few prokaryotic organisms. If you see the cell wall is present only in plants, fungi, and bacteria, but absent in animals. The image represents a plant cell wall. The cell wall is the outermost covering of plant cells. It is present outside the cell membrane and it is tough, flexible, and sometimes rigid in its texture. It is mainly composed of cellulose, long fibers of carbohydrates, including hemicellulose, lignin, and pectin. Yeah. If you observe the cell wall structure, the mitochondria is there, cell wall highlighted in this picture, nucleus is there, vacuole and chloroplast, cytoplasm is there. If you see the plant cell wall is generally arranged in three layers and composed of carbohydrates like pectin, cellulose, hemicellulose, and other smaller amounts of minerals which form a network along with structural proteins to form the cell wall. If you see the three major layers are present in cell wall. First one is primary cell wall and middle lamella. This is the second one. and the secondary cell wall is there. The primary cell wall forms in primary growth of plants. The secondary cell wall is formed in secondary growth of plant. Okay, the middle lamella is formed in when cell division happens in cell. The two nucleus separated and spread to polar regions. Between two nucleus, the middle lamella is formed. You see the clear picture of three layers. The outermost layer is primary cell wall, and between the outer cell to cell between cell is middle lamella. The inner is primary cell wall, and innermost is secondary cell wall is there. You see the primary cell wall. The primary cell is situated closest to the inside of the cell and is the first formed cell wall. It is mainly made up of cellulose, allowing the wall to stretch for the purpose of growth. Several primary cells contain pectic polysaccharides and structural proteins. It is also comparatively permeable and thinner than the other layers. If you see the middle lamella is also the outermost layer, and it acts as an interface between the other neighboring cells and glues them together. This layer primarily consists of pectins. However, other substances such as lignin and proteins can also be formed. If you see the secondary cell wall, the secondary cell wall is formed inside the primary cell wall once the cell is completely grown. Some types of cells, especially the cells of xylem tissues, consist of cellulose and lignin, and these provide additional rigidity and waterproofing. Also, this layer provides the characteristic rectangular or square shaped cell. It is also the thickest layer and permits permeability. This is the it shows middle lamella, primary cell wall, and plasma membrane picture. And you see the function of the cell wall. The plant cell wall provides definite shape, strength, rigidity. It also provides protection against mechanical stress and physical shocks. It helps to control cell expansion due to the intake of water, also helps in preventing water loss from the cell. It is responsible for transporting substances between and across the cell. It acts as a barrier between the interior cellular components and the external environment. Cell membrane. If you see the cell membrane, So another component already we are studied in cell wall, cell membrane. The cell membrane is also known as the plasma membrane. It is the outermost covering of animal cells. It is a semi permeable membrane composed of lipids and proteins. Yeah, the main functions of the cell membrane include protecting the integrity of the interior cell, providing support and maintaining the shape of the cell, helps in regulating cell growth through the balance of endocytosis and exocytosis. The cell membrane also plays an important role in cell signaling and communication. It acts as a selectively permeable membrane by allowing the entry of only selected substances into the cell. What is the chemical composition of plasma membrane? If you see the composition of plasma membrane, chemical composition, the membrane is mainly composed of lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates. Water makes about 29% of total weight. Robertson proposed that plasma membrane is three-layer structure where proteins from the outer and inner layers of membrane that encloses lipids to form a unit membrane. Yeah, if you see the lipids identified in the plasma membrane consist of cholesterol, phospholipids, and galactolipids. The phospholipids include phosphate, phosphodicholine, and the phospholipids are found to be associated with the outer protein shell in the plasma membrane. Glycerol and fatty acid constitute lipid molecules. The lipids identified in the plasma membrane consist of cholesterol, phospholipids, and galactolipids. The phospholipids include phosphatidylcholine. The phospholipids are found. The lipids molecules are oriented in two layers with their hydrophilic polar ends directed towards protein and the hydrophobic nonpolar ends face each other. Hydrogen bonds, ionic linkages, or electrostatic forces bind the protein and lipid components. Second one is in the membrane it is present as enzyme protein, carrier protein and structural protein. The enzyme protein have catalytic activity. The carrier proteins help to transport materials in and out of the cell across membrane. The structural proteins play an important role to form the structure of membrane. If you see the carbohydrates, they occur in the form of glycolipids and glycoproteins. Both of these forms are confined exclusively to the external membrane surface. Bell is of opinion that polysaccharides confer some stability to the lipoprotein complex in the membrane. So many models are there. Fluid mosaic model is the important cell membrane model, and micellar model is there, and unit membrane model also is there. But in this topic, we are going to discuss about fluid mosaic model. This is the important accepted model. H.J. Singer and Gert, H.J. Singer and Nicholson proposed a new model that provides microscopic observations and better explains plasma membrane function. You see the diagram in upwards, glycoproteins are there. Protein with carbohydrates attached, it is called as glycoprotein, and glycolipids are there, which lipid attached with carbohydrate, it is called as glycolipid. If you see the bottom of the diagram, left to right, I am going to discuss. Peripheral membrane protein is there, and integral membrane protein is there, and cytoskeleton filaments are present, cholesterol and protein channel is there, and phospholipid bilayer also present. The explanation, the fluid mosaic model has evolved somewhat over time, but it still best accounts for plasma membrane structure and function as we now understand them. The fluid mosaic model describes the plasma membrane structure as a mosaic of components including phospholipids, cholesterol, proteins, and carbohydrates that gives the membrane a fluid character. Plasma membranes range from 5 to 10 nm in thickness. For comparison, human red blood cells visible via light microscopy are approximately 8 micrometers wide, or approximately 1000 times wider than a plasma membrane. The membrane does look a bit like a sandwich. A plasma membrane's principal components are lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates attached to some of the lipids and proteins. A phospholipid is a molecule consisting of glycerol, two fatty acids, and a phosphate linked head group. Cholesterol, another lipid comprised of four fused carbon rings, is situated alongside the phospholipids in the membrane's core. The protein, lipid, and carbohydrate proportions in the plasma membrane vary with cell type, but for a typical human cell, protein accounts for about 5% of the composition by mass, lipids account for about 40%, and carbohydrates comprise the remaining 10%. Proteins are 50%, lipids are 40%, and carbohydrates are 10%. However, protein and lipid concentration varies with different cell membranes. For example, myelin, an outgrowth of specialized cells membrane that insulates the peripheral nerves, axons, contains only 8% protein and 76% lipid. The mitochondrial inner membrane contains 76% protein and only 24% lipid. The plasma membrane of human red blood cells is 30% lipid, and carbohydrates are present only on the plasma membrane's exterior surface and are attached to proteins, forming glycoproteins, or attached to lipids, forming glycolipids.